This is I'm from Denver.
Hanging out with us today, and I love it, Jake, because we talk to people from all over the world, and we got Chef Pablo Ranea. I almost butchered his name because I'm a dumb American, but it's Ranea. He's renowned for innovative South American cuisine. He's based in Argentina. He combines traditional flavors with modern techniques, and he's recognized globally as a chef, sommelier, and a cultural ambassador. And it's exciting to have you on the show, Chef Pablo. We appreciate you taking the time to hang out with Jake and myself today.
Hola, hola, ¿cómo están? How are you?
Doing good, man. We bueno, baby. How you
Excellent.
doing?
Excellent. Just making a break during the production that we're doing. We're getting ready for a weekend of pop-up dinners here in Denver.
You know, that's very, very cool. I will tell you this. I've actually had the pleasure of sitting down at a couple of your pop-up dinners in the past, as you know. So I was more than happy to jump on board and help you promote this one that's upcoming, which we'll be talking about. But I will tell you guys this. Every year, Chef Pablo comes into this town and gives an array of pop-up dinners. You come here for about, maybe a couple weeks, a month, usually?
To Denver about a month every year. And it's part of our tour that we spend about 8 months traveling all over the US, Canada, and Peru.
Can you explain what the pop-up, what is a pop-up dinner for someone like myself or that might not know?
Sure. A pop-up dinner, I mean, the word pop-up means something that it shows in a determinate space and determinate time just for that time, right? It's completely different than going out to a restaurant that the restaurant is going to be there always. A pop-up is something that happened one day in one place and that's it. That's the concept of the pop-up.
Yeah, I will tell you this, and it's super special. I mean, if you have the means, I highly recommend doing it. It's not just a meal because, as you said, Pablo is a sommelier. And for those of our viewers that aren't familiar with what a sommelier is, that is somebody that is completely finished in wine and all things flavoring in wine, and ultimately where how the grapes were fermented and everything else. They can literally just taste that in their mouth. And what Chef Pablo does, and what makes him so special, is that not only is he a sommelier, but he's also a world-renowned chef. So he can actually match the flavors. And so when you match the flavors of the wines to the particular courses that you're being served, it's unreal. I will tell you, it's an experience in itself. I felt very, very fortunate to have been invited to a couple of these dinners.
Thank you. Yes, what we try to do in our pop-up dinners to make it special, what we create and what we communicate is an experience. That is our goal, to create an experience. How we do that? So we prepare a multiple courses menu, let's say 5 courses paired with different wines, like 10 wines, for example. Like each course is paired with 2 wines with a wine flight. So you can play not only with one pairing, also experience different pairings. The journey is about travel through different flavors, different terroir, different regions, and definitely different stories. So that's what when you live the experience, with stories in your mind, and of course the flavors.
Listen, Chef Pablo, I couldn't even pronounce some. I can't even say it, right? Sommelier, right?
Sommelier.
No, it's sommelier. Yes. Sommelier. Sí.
I'm gonna learn multiple languages by
But you can say some.
Oh,
it's easier. Some. It's a chef and a some.
So, Chef, how did you get into this space? Were you just a lover of food, like your entire life? Like, I mean, I can't even say the word, and you're so well versed in this. I mean, you're world renowned. Like, is this something that you just grew up with? How did you learn to kind of become who you are?
It's funny. It's interesting because I'm not coming from the traditional or the typical example of there's many chefs that when they talk about this, they always talk about someone in their family that when they were kids, they were cooking so well with these aromas in the house, like the grandma or the mother. No, no. My mother was super busy being father and mother at the same time with three kids, three boys. And I always enjoyed to cook for friends, but I never took it serious until when I was a little bit older, I would say like 20 something, after I got my degree as a graphic designer, I'm a graphic designer. Um, something made me a twist, a click, and I took more serious to be involved in the culinary skills. So I think what I enjoy the most is to cook for friends or people that I know I can make them happy. You know, I can make them feel better with a delicious food. So I think that is what it, for me, take me to go in this profession. So, and you can see that because, I mean, it's a difference of, there's a difference of working in a restaurant that you cook for people and you never see the people. You prepare a beautiful meal and then you give it to the waiter. The waiter goes, give it to these people. The people enjoy the food. They leave the restaurant. But what I like is, you know, to cook for a group of people that I can be in touch with them. So that's why, for example, I feel very comfortable with the format of the pop-up dinners, that our average number in every occasion is about 14, 16, 18 people. We do bigger, but it's a scale of people that I can be in touch with them and I can tell the stories and I can make them feel happy.
A
I
journey, like
love
you
it. I
said.
love it.
Yes.
So, a quick question for you then, while we're on that subject.
Sí.
What is your favorite dish to cook at home when you're not working as a professional? Right. I mean, I know the
Like
pop up dinners. Obviously, I know.
cooking for yourself type of thing.
No, like no, when you're cooking like for your friends. So like you have your friends come over, right? You like what is your favorite thing to cook? Like what
Hmm.
what do you really enjoy cooking for your friends when you do
Um,
something like that?
I mean, there's things that I always like to cook, and I know I do it well, and people like it. I can tell you a couple of dishes, and I will. But what I enjoy the most is after every tour, you know, to come with, you know, to come home. Home for me is Mendoza in Argentina.
Mm-hmm.
That every year we
Mm-hmm.
spend less and less and less time. So at least we spend the summer there, our summer. And I always like to share recipes or dishes that I learned in different trips to my friends. So, for
Mm-hmm.
example, I don't know, first time that I went to Peru, I fall in love, you know, because I was having my ceviche. I was doing my ceviche in my restaurant. Over that years, I was working in a restaurant. I remember that I had a ceviche in my menu. A
Mm-hmm.
ceviche that I thought it was like, oh, this is my beautiful ceviche. I did it with a lot of love and the way that I thought it was. When I went to Peru, I learned all about the leche de tigre, the famous leche de tigre, which is the mother sauce of for the ceviches. And I immediately call the kitchen in Mendoza. I say, hey, please take out this ceviche now from the menu. I will wait till I come back. I will do it in the right way with the leche tigre and all that. So, for example, after this trip to share these recipes with friends or people that I love, oof, I think that's what I enjoy the most. But things that I always like to
After
cook,
the tour. I love it.
yes, after a tour. But I know if I cook octopus, I know how I make my octopus, for example, or ice creams. I'm very related with ice cream. I'm really into ice creams, for example.
I mean, your empanadas are enough to make one fall off their chair as well. So don't downplay those. As we're talking about growing up in Mendoza in Argentina,
Okay.
as you grew up there, how did the local culture and landscape influence your cooking style, or did it? I mean,
Have you been in Mendoza, guys? In Argentina?
no,
No, not yet.
unfortunately, have not. No, no,
Okay, let's say not yet.
not yet.
Not yet.
Not
So for
yet.
you to
Looking forward to
understand,
it.
Mendoza is a wine region. First of all, Mendoza is a wine region. It's located at the same latitude of Buenos Aires, but west, close to the Andes Mountains. And first of all, it's a wine region. So the food scene there, it grows. It has been affected by the wine industry, definitely. The wine industry in Mendoza, it's very, very important. And something that makes very unique Mendoza compared with the other wine regions is that there's so many wineries with restaurants. Restaurants are allowed in wineries, so which is really, really important. So there are so many restaurants in wineries. The food grows has been how do you say has been developed. The culinary scene, the food scene has been developed with the impact of the wines. How is that? Um, there in all these restaurants there's always chefs and cooks that has to be always has to create dishes or menus to be paired with the wines. So pairing is something very important in Mendoza. When I moved back from to Mendoza, because I lived for years in Spain and the Caribbean, and then working for different hotels, and then when I came back in Mendoza, and I definitely get into the my career. I was a chef in a restaurant called Azafran. Azafran is a
Hmm.
very nice restaurant in Mendoza. I worked there for 10 years. And I remember in the early 2000s, talking about pairing a multiple courses menu was something quite new, right? And in a few years, it was like many, many restaurants and many teams of chefs and cooks creating multiple courses menu with pairing. So pairing for that area is something that we always have it. So I think that, for example, makes me take the decision of, okay, I'm working a lot with wine, so I have to take it more serious. And so that's why I decided to take the sommelier program in 2012. And I got
Hmm.
my degree there in the sommelier, because it's, I think, those career that complement so well. The culinary, program with the wine program, it's very it goes really well. It pairs really well.
Yeah, yeah. And in Mendoza, is that traditionally a Malbec territory? Is that what are particularly the kind of grapes that are coming out of that area and the flavors that you're pairing with usually?
So our wine flag, for saying a few words, wine flag or emblematic grape is Malbec.
Yeah.
Malbec is the largest percentage, but there are many other grapes that there are world recognized of
Hmm.
the quality that the Argentinian grapes have. So, for example, the Cabernet Franc, and also there's a large percentage of the typical French varietals like Chardonnay, Cabernet Sauvignon. There's
Hmm.
Syrah as well. I mean, if Malbec is our king, we have also
Hmm.
our queen. Our queen is the Torrontés. Torrontés is our emblematic white
Yeah.
varietal of Argentina. And Torrontés is a crossing of two grapes, Moscat and Creole, and the
Yep.
largest percentage of Torrontés come from the north of the Argentina, from Salta.
Hmm.
And Malbec is everywhere, but definitely is Mendoza. But we're
Yeah.
definitely more than Malbec.
Now
Yeah, no,
you've been
I'm definitely
traveling.
familiar with the region. I love it. Go
You've
ahead,
been
Jared.
Yeah.
traveling the world and just cooking for a lot of people. Like, is there anyone? Do you get nerves? Is there anyone that you've cooked for where you're like prepping this meal and pairing it that just like,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, yeah. What was the like
Who
most
makes
nerve
you
wracking
Yeah.
nervous,
experience? Yeah.
Pablo? Who makes you
No, but
nervous?
we have to go to, first of all, let's take you, I will say like 12 years ago. 12 years ago or 13 years ago. I didn't even have my sommelier degree. I was doing pairings and I was working in the restaurant. But over those years, with my partner, we opened a closed door restaurant, like a secret restaurant once a week in our house that opened only once a week for 8 people. Over those years, it was very trendy, to go to these secret high restaurants. So we started this for fun. Imagine it wasn't a big business, only 8 people once a week, but I love it. It was fun. In my day off of the restaurant, we opened this restaurant in our house. So, but the thing is that it becomes something big in terms of reservations, TripAdvisor. Everybody wants to have a spot in our table, and all the wineries want to have a
To
spot.
sponsor it,
So,
yeah.
yeah, to have a place there. And if any journey, every journalist or important people coming to Mendoza, they want to send it, to our table. So I was doing this dinner, this night in our restaurant, and one important institution he booked a table for the most well-known winemakers. uh, that I know them well, but also this journalist, not journalist, this master sommelier who was his name was is Evan Goldstein. Evan Goldstein is a master sommelier who have the best books, bestsellers about pairing. He's very well known about pairing in the world. So and I knew that just a couple of hours that this guy arrived, and I was so nervous about my selection of wine, my pairings, the food, and all what I had. So, but he was super nice and he enjoyed everything. But I believe that that was a tough moment, to introduce pairing to the most important guy in pairing.
And how did that go?
Recognize.
Did it go over well? Like
He we had so much fun. He stayed until 2 a.m. at home, so it was a
okay,
super
so it was
fun night.
good. It
Yeah,
was good. All
yeah,
right.
yeah, yeah,
Happy ending to this story. That's a good one.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And like this, many other stories, but yeah.
The pop-up bar that's happening on August 24th at Señor Bear, like you already have everything ready. How do you prepare for this dinner as you approach it? I mean, it's coming up, so like what do you do to kind of prepare
Yeah,
yourself?
we wanted to do something a little bit more massive, so we're expecting, like more people. So we're doing this selection of different empanadas. The idea is to have like a little trip through different classic empanadas from Argentina. So I'm working in a empanada salteña. Empanada salteña is an empanada from the north of the country made with hand-cut ribeye, and it has potatoes also in the filling. It's very juicy. It's one of those empanadas that you have to eat it with, your legs open so you don't make, a mess. Empanadas salteñas with jasua sauce. That is a typical sauce for that empanada. We're working in a chorizo empanadas, Argentinian style chorizo with a lot of onion, green olives, and hard-boiled egg. And the other empanada is a vegetarian one, is humita. Humita is a savory corn puree that is a typical recipe from the north of the country as well, one of the most traditional recipes. And it tastes really, really good with Malbec, for example. And so we're gonna do these empanadas, three empanadas, and for dessert, I'm gonna make pastelitos of membrillo y queso. Membrillo is queens
Mhm.
and goat cheese with miel de chancaca honey. That is also a honey from that region, and ice cream. And we're also gonna serve a little choripan before with traditional chimichurri, and one more bite that we're finishing the menu, but it's and this is gonna be paired with two unique Malbecs. So it's gonna be about Malbecs and empanadas. In the wines, I'm gonna be introducing the first white Malbec.
Can't
White
wait to try
Malbec,
that.
very unique. It's a white wine made with red grapes, and it's incredible. It's super good. It's a Trivento white Malbec, and also a red Malbec from Luján de Cuyo called Trivento Golden Reserve. That is, Luján de Cuyo is the iconic region for Malbec, so it has all the explosion of the berries in this beautiful Malbec. So that's gonna be the wine for the 24th.
Oh,
Chef
that's gonna
Pablo,
be amazing.
do you think people get nervous now when you come to their restaurant? Like you're so good at what you do. Like, do you think you're making those nerves going for another chef? Like, how hard is it for you to go eat at other restaurants or eat out? Like, are you just so like, oh my god, this is awesome?
No,
He's got to go in there like a
no.
celebrity. He's got to have like a hat on so people don't recognize him. Get all nervous.
No, 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 no. I tell you so much. Now, it also what you're saying also happens sometimes when we go out to house, to have dinner in the house or someone is preparing a meal. It's like, oh, the chef. But I really enjoy. I definitely enjoy homemade food of comida casera, traditional. I mean, not traditional, but food that is made at home. That's what I
Mhm.
enjoy the most. That's the most important thing.
Yeah, agreed, agreed. And so, just getting back to the pop up real quick,
Sí,
we've got it's going to be at Señor Bear.
Señor
There's
Bear.
100 tickets available, correct? And I believe 50 have already been sold.
Mhm.
If you have not reserved your place for this, it's going to be on Saturday the 24th
Mhm.
at Señor Bear, and it's going to be a lunch. And so come hungry and ready
Sí.
to taste some of the best regional wines of Argentina.
Listen, there's only 48
Absolutely.
tickets available now.
Yeah, only 48 tickets available left. I mean, there's
Yeah,
half of
and
them
it's
already
at
gone.
it is at a very good price.
Yeah,
It's only 50
and
bucks.
I yeah, and I haven't even yeah. You do not get to see Chef Pablo in action for $50. That does not happen. So get your spot reserved. It's going to be a very special lunch. So I wanted to make sure that we got that in for the promo. And so I have
just to remind me to buy tickets, Jake, because I was
yeah, I know,
Yeah.
right? We got to get our tickets, right? I
Yeah, I
already
hope
told
to
my
see you
wife. She's
there,
like, "We're
guys.
going, right?" I'm like, "Yeah, we're going."
Yeah, I definitely want to see
I'm
you
gonna be
there.
there. Yeah, my wife has tasted your food and your wine, and now she's like, "You're getting tickets for that, right?" And I was like, "Yeah, we're going. We're good. Don't worry about it." She would.
Yes.
Now I told her, so if we don't go, like, I'm gonna be in an argument the rest of the weekend. But I will. Do you find, because you do these pop-ups, and I
Okay.
know as a homeowner and as somebody who fancies myself a pretty good home chef, I like to cook a lot,
Okay.
and I definitely like the outdoor. I like the Argentinian kind of meats and the different ways of cooking outdoors that you find in those regions. Do you find that people are very proud of their home kitchens when they, like, when you first walk into somebody's house? It's kind of like a new experience for you each time, because you kind of don't know where everything is. You got to, like, you got to, it's like you have to learn a new kitchen every time you walk into somebody's home like that. But I feel like on the other side, like, people are probably pretty proud of their kitchens that they've created, to have somebody like you come in and be like, yeah, I can cook a 6-course meal and do a wine pairing at your home, no problem. Like, do you find like a sense of like home ownership pride when you do these things for these people?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Sometimes they got nervous about, oh, am I gonna have all what the chef is looking, or the chef is coming to cook in my kitchen? But what we always communicate, what we always say is that what we do is homemade fine dining cuisine. But first of all, it's homemade.
Mm-hmm.
It's something that we can recreate in a kitchen of the house. That's what we do. Yeah. But definitely, yeah.
It's like,
We've been in so many kitchens. We've been in so imagine that we visit about like 2, 3, and sometimes 4 different kitchens per weekend.
wow.
Of course, we make a base where we make all our production, and we arrive to the kitchens just a couple of hours before, and we set up everything. But definitely, I use the kitchens for sure. Yeah.
I've only experienced your dining experience at Aaron Wallace's a place, and obviously, yeah, his kitchen is to the nines.
Don't come to my house, Chef Pablo. You're gonna get
No. But
so I can imagine, like, I would be nervous. I'd be like, man, do I have all the stuff that he can do this?
No. But yeah, no.
Mine would be, Chef Pablo, mine would be like a reality show. It's like, what can he come up with?
He's like, traditionally in this kitchen we cook ramen noodles. What do you got?
No. Well, we've been in so many different kitchens. People thinks that we're always traveling through different. Every kitchen that we go is like stunning. It's like from a magazine. And no, we've been in so many different kitchens. We can definitely work in kitchens of condos, apartments, or big houses. We can accommodate.
Good. I'm glad you saw where I was setting that question to go out. It's a good. Want to make sure that people understand that to do one of these pop-up dinners, you don't have to have, the craziest kitchen, right? You don't have to have a $200,000 kitchen to host this kind of a dinner, or lunch. He can do it pretty much anywhere.
I love the way that you did graphic design, and now you're in this space. Like, is that, how do you go from one to the other and become so world renowned like that?
Well, I no, I knew that. I mean, I know that I want to do something with my creativity. That's what it take me to graphic design. Actually, before taking the decision of go to graphic designer, I thought it was like, okay, I was choosing between the art school or art graphics. So I went to art graphics, and then the culinary program, and then the sommelier. And I just got my degree of an ice cream as a professional ice cream maker. Like, it just happened like a few months ago.
I mean, listen, guys, these are the kind of doctorates that more people need to have. Okay. Because if more people knew how to do this, the world would be a happier place.
Okay.
And in great shape, dude. I've seen your Instagram. Are you going to start like a workout video after you're done cooking for people? Because, dude, you are in like phenomenal shape. Like it's you have to be eating right. Is that, or is it just like the
Yeah.
lifestyle that you get to live, where you get to enjoy what you do and treat yourself right?
See. We try to make always a balance of, working and always take care of our meals, working out every day, going to the gym. And actually, with all these travels that I do, I always like to take a little break to make my 10K run
Mhm.
in different places. Like, for example, here in Denver, I discover all these beautiful parks like the Washington Park or the City Park.
Yeah.
There's another trail around here in Greenwood Village that I love. It's so much fun going out for running here.
There's some beautiful trails over where you're at in Greenwood Village. That's a gorgeous
Yeah.
area.
How's that
Yeah.
altitude treating you on those runs? Are
Sorry?
you? Is it hard to breathe because
The
you're
altitude.
so high up? The altitude.
I can feel it. We can feel it, but it's handleable. I mean, I don't know if it's correct the word that I say, but we can make it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I can feel it. And there's some places that I've been in Colorado cooking that I feel more the altitude, like Telluride, for example,
Yeah.
or Aspen. I would not imagine going out for running there in Telluride.
No, you're not going to do a 10K up in Aspen.
No.
Does that match with the food? Does the altitude, like, do you have to compensate like for different like levels? Like if you're at sea level, like, does that
It takes longer when you cook something. It takes a little longer. You can see, but that's it. That's all. Yeah. No, it's not a big thing. I mean, I'm not doing like huge amount of cooking, that I can really have to uh, take care of that thing. But it's just that way in affect the food. Yeah.
So I have a quick question here for you, and it's obviously we know there's some things to be looking forward from you, Chef Pablo. And are there any upcoming projects or collaborations that you're excited about that are coming up here that we can help you promote a little bit?
We're gonna be in Denver until the end, and then our next stop is California. California, we're gonna be there like 2 months. We have some. We're gonna be doing pop-ups all over from Tahoe, Sacramento, San Francisco, San Jose, Cupertino, Modesto, all north of that, and also in the south in Palm Springs. We're doing a big pop-up open in a new wine bar. They're located in Canopy. That's gonna happen on the 24th of October. So that's gonna be
Okay.
something big for hundreds of people there. It's gonna be big. And then we go into Florida. And then Peru. In Peru, we're gonna be a couple of weeks doing open pop-up dinners in Lima. It's one of my favorite cities in the world. Lima, the food scene
I'm
is
dying to go to
incredible.
Peru and Argentina.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. And in the future, we are working also in different projects like an ice cream shop. So hopefully this ice cream shop will be in Denver sometime.
Well, I'd love to talk to you more offline about that for sure.
So,
Yeah.
I know you're already connected with Juan Pedro, so you got the guy right there to help you put you on the spot. You know, he is the restaurateur of Colorado right now. I mean,
oh yeah,
he
yeah,
just,
the czar.
he just doesn't put
This
bad products out there.
He's definitely a czar.
Yeah, he is the czar.
I love that you're in this ice cream space, and you just talked about that a little bit. How you got your doctorate in that? What'd you say you got to do? What did you say about ice cream that you're like?
No, just a course, a program of professional ice cream maker.
Okay, so what does that mean now? Like, is there a game plan for like? Are you just about to make the most phenomenal ice cream that people have ever experienced? Like, what is the game plan for the ice cream? I'm so
Well,
curious.
the course. I mean, I always like to make ice creams at home, always, and also in my pop-up menus, always gonna find a homemade ice cream. I always like to do that, from sweet ice cream to savory ice creams. Like for example, this one menu I remember I have this green chimichurri ice cream served on a tuna tartare, for example. But
Man,
anyway,
I'm feeling this right now. Like everything you just said, that's my soul.
and
Chimichurri ice cream, let's go.
and in Argentina, ice cream is something big, because of the Italian influence that we have in the country. We have a big Italian influence in Argentina. So ice cream we know about ice creams in Argentina. And so I decided to take it more serious this time. And I decided, okay, I'm going to take this course. I want to go there and try to know everything about that. So being a chef and before that, sommelier, I thought it was going to be like, okay, I'm going to learn ice cream. I'm going to be doing recipes. But it was a very intense course with a lot of chemistry, how to combine all the different components, the different sugars to go to the right formula to make the perfect ice cream. So it was like months and months of chemistry. And then, of course, the other part of the program. So yeah, that's what I do, and the idea is, to one day to open my own ice cream place with all the different flavors that I was doing. And during pandemic, I remember I started to make my own production of ice creams that I sold through Instagram. And imagine I was doing this ice cream during pandemic in my house with my ice cream maker, my little machine, and it was crazy. It was crazy because every week I was doing like 3 or 4 different unique flavors, and just sell it through Instagram. It was I spent like 12 hours a day doing ice cream in my little
Wow.
thing. So it was a nice and fun experience. And yeah.
Well,
Listen, we all took chemistry in high school. That's my kind of chemistry, man.
You,
We
you,
are-
meant, yeah, exactly. You said that you like looked to Instagram for inspiration. Like, what does inspire you? Are there chefs or accounts or things that you follow that inspire you and get those creative juices flowing?
Of course I see Instagram, but one of the words that I would say to chefs or people that are starting on this life of being a cook, being a chef, is like don't get too much influenced by Instagram. It's fine, Instagram inspires you, right? But please go more for books, for more for tasting, and definitely travel and eat everywhere. That's the best inspiration. Um, One of the things that you can see nowadays is like dishes that are so beautiful presented. I know it's important presentation. I know they have to be ready for Instagram, the pictures, I mean the dishes, but the flavor, make sure that you prepare a delicious food, a tasty meal. That's the most important thing, more than presentation.
Well, Chef Pablo, I don't think there's a better way to end this interview right there than just kind of that description of how people should be inspired and be a better chef. And I think you've definitely set the bar high, and I am excited for August 24th at Señor Bear. I literally was online buying those tickets when Jake said there's 50 left. I was like, I better get on that. So it was awesome to talk to you and learn how to pronounce words.
I'm sorry about my English.
The word of the day. No, your English is great. The word of the day, sommelier, baby.
Sommelier. You just said I could say
Sommelier.
Some.
Sommelier. Sommelier.
Sommelier.
Sommelier. Yeah, correct. Or some.
We'll stick with some.
Seeing you on August 24th and tasting your amazing food. It was it's awesome to talk to you. I love that we're able to talk to someone of your caliber, and better to have you in Denver so that our audience can actually try it for themselves, because I think there's something to hear you talk about it, but to experience your food, especially from what Jake said, it's just another level.
Thank you. And if somebody wants to know more about our tours, where are we going, where we've been, or how can you join our event, you can find me on Instagram. Pablo Ranea is my Instagram, or my website, pabloranea.com. Very simple. You will see all the information about the pop-ups and recipes and wines. Yeah.
So I challenge you to cook with my air fryer. So I'm going to book you right now. I'm going to go to your website.
Oh, the air fryer.
See what you can cook with. Jake, anything else, man, before we sign off?
No, I just want to add to the fact that I hope everybody understands what a privilege and honor it is to have folks like Chef Pablo in town, that are here bringing their world-renowned culinary and wine experience and tastings here to Denver, which really, it's just, I mean, this is definitely a new thing around these parts. It definitely happens in other parts of the world, particularly like Chef Pablo was saying, in these wine regions. I've been fortunate enough to travel to a few of these regions, so these kinds of pairings are incredible. But to have somebody of his caliber here in Denver really is special. So, I mean, for those of you that haven't had this kind of an experience before, I highly recommend making sure you get on this and make sure you get your tickets and get them now, because it is going to sell out quick. And so, yeah, just want to thank the chef for coming on the show today and sharing his experiences with us and with our audience. And as always, man, we always welcome you here in Denver. We love it.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. It was so good talking to you. Thank you so much for the invitation.
Of course.
Thank you.
And I definitely hope to see you there.
We will
Oh,
be
we'll
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My mouth's been watering, bro. We've been recording for an hour now. I'm like,
This is I'm from Denver, where the city's stories come to life.